College can be stressful. Tests, essays, and speeches and presentations are all things college students worry about, but so are their finances. College today is viewed as a necessity, but priced as a luxury. According to CNBC, college tuition has been rising 6% above inflation. The effect of this is current U.S. student debt is more than $1.2 trillion and rising annually. Paying for college hasn't been difficult for me. When I entered CVTC, my parents told me that they would help pay for my education, but once I graduate in the spring and finish my 2 years at UW Stout, I will have to pay for it on my own. I do not receive financial aid, and I do not qualify for grants and very limited loans. This will leave me with a lot of student debt. Many countries around the world implement free college tuition for public universities included with taxes. The United States should do the same. We must identify college cost, how to solve the problem, and how the outcome would be effective. First, I will talk about the current college tuition in the United States. Stated previously, the current debt is $1.2 trillion. Tuition can vary by state, university, and college. In-state tuition costs less than out-of-state tuition, and according to the article, What's the Price Tag for College Tuition? On the website College Data, it costs out-of-state students almost double the money. When asking my peers, what's the average cost of college in the U.S., one peer responded she thought it was $20,000 a year, and another responded that it was $15,000 a year. Although those costs are pretty high, the price is still a lot. What is the cost of college tuition in 2015 and 2016? According to College Board, the average cost at a private school is $32,305, and it is $9,410 for in-state public colleges. Cost doesn't always include everything needed. College Board estimates that private and public students pay $1,249 in books and supplies each year. If we do the math for one college student attending a 4-year university, they will pay $37,640 for tuition, and they will be paying $4,996 in books. That's a total of $42,636. Top University's article, How Much Does It Cost to Study in the U.S., said in 2011 and 2012, 85% of full-time students receive financial aid. Although that is a large number, what about the rest of the 15%? Should their education suffer? Next, I will be talking about the solutions to the high price of college education. Stated previously, many countries implement free college. Germany is an example. In 2014, Germany made its universities free. According to Attention's article, How Does Germany Pay Tuition for All of Its Citizens? Germany and many other European countries view education as more of a public than private benefit. Thinking of college as a luxury when it seems almost that every job requires a college education simply does not make sense. We must change how people see college in this country. If we help U.S. citizens to understand how important education is in this country, they would be more willing to implement the college education into state and federal funding. Germany's citizens agreed to pay higher taxes for the chance to receive a free education. According to Marketplace.org, a political science professor at the University of Cologne stated, a majority of German voters agree that a decent start in life includes a possibility for a free higher education. When I asked peers, do you believe the U.S. should implement free education? They both said no, but the U.S. should have more financial help. Getting people to believe that getting a college education is something everyone can achieve is the first step. The next step would be changing the American universities and adjusting the budget to make college less expensive. Less expensive college means lower taxes. The last step would be eliminating tuition costs. Next, I will talk about how the outcome of free education will be beneficial. Shifting focus away from financial worries and debt to tests and homework is what students should be worrying about. According to the article, Student Debt Rates Linked to Stress Over Finances by Salary.com, a study done by the New York Times states students who pay for school themselves are more likely to drop out of school than those who have financial help. The article explains the perception that many people leave school because they don't work hard, but the study by the New York Times shows the opposite. People who work the hardest leave because they have financial troubles. If college tuition rates were more cost-effective and essentially free, stress of students and their finances would steadily decrease. This would cause students to work fewer hours and use those hours for their studies. Taking time away from students' time to study and making them work will cause them to do poor in school. This is counterproductive. I asked friends if they would feel less stressed about school if they didn't have to worry about finances. One of them said, "Yes, I work 40 hours a week to afford school. This can cause my study habits and my sleeping habits to crash into a wall. If I had tuition figured out, college would be a breeze and I would be getting great grades." Like I've said previously, college is almost required in this day and age to obtain a high-paying job. More college graduates would mean high-paying jobs, and high-paying jobs would boost the economy, which would make the cycle complete. Student debt is slowly killing us. According to a Huffington Post article in 2007, an Illinois State University student took his own life after expressing concerns about his student debt of $100,000. And according to a study done by American Association of Suicidology, it states economic strains and personal financial crisis have been well documented as participating events in an individual deaths by suicide. The cost of school is so overwhelming it's taking a person's life. Now, let's go over what has been discussed. Instead of tuition rising, it should be falling. $1.2 trillion is too much money for college students to have in combined debt. We have talked about the cost of college tuition, how to solve the problem, and the outcome it will have. With implementing cost-effective budgets, higher taxes, and easier accessibility to college, free tuition can be possible. The outcome of free college tuition will be less financial stress on college students, as well as more opportunities for people to go to college. Many countries around the world implement free college education, and I believe the U.S. should do the same.